Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. Welcome back to another Planty video. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Fern, and today I'm going to be talking about the plants that I have been especially loving throughout the month of February. I have narrowed it down to 6 plants, and I cannot wait to share them with you today. Okay, we're just gonna hop right into it with the first one, which I am absolutely in love with. Look at this. This is my Philodendron El Choco Red. I guess the botanical name is now Philodendron rubrijuvenile. I am still calling it Philodendron El Choco Red. That's just the common name that has like stuck in my head, but they are the same plant. Anyways, mine has been on a journey. I actually have a whole video documenting what has kind of happened with this plant since I purchased it. It did rot, I had to reroot it and everything, but we're back in the game now. This plant is getting established again and giving me gorgeous leaves. So I have been loving this plant over the past month or so, especially because it was working on this leaf and it has come out so big and gorgeous, and oh my goodness, I just love it so much. I can't stop staring at it. It did get slightly damaged unfurling, but nothing too bad. I'm not too bent out of shape about it, honestly. It's fine. The leaf is just so beautiful. It does have a bit of a red tinge to the back, but as these mature they do lose their red backs, which is I guess why they chose the name rubrijuvenile for this plant, because that means like red when young. So yeah, that's what the back is looking like on this large leaf. You can see there's more red on some of the older leaves, but yeah, it is just so gorgeous. Such a beautiful heart-shaped velvet leaf philodendron, and definitely one of my favorites. I do have a thickly pole in here. I don't think it's grabbed onto it yet or anything. I just secured it with the Velcro tape not too long ago. So as it grows and as I get, you know, another couple of leaves, I think it will start to vine upwards. And I've had a lot of success with growing Philodendron El Choco Red on moss poles, so I'm really excited for when it kind of attaches. Oh my goodness, I can't help myself when it comes to these caterpillars, and now I'm just making a mess. Okay, just a moment. I have to deal with this now. I shouldn't have started peeling it. Okay, I actually took the Velcro tape off to peel the caterpillar, and I thought I would just show you because there actually is, do you see that red little root there? So it actually has started to root into the moss pole, which is really exciting. So I'm gonna refasten this onto here, and there actually is new growth as well right there that has been revealed. So yeah, that's very nice. There's still some kind of stuff on there from the caterpillar, but I'll just let that dry off. When you peel off the caterpillars and they're not dried out yet, the texture reminds me of when you scoop the inside of a pumpkin out. Like, it's very like stringy and slimy like that. So if you don't like that, I suggest just letting those bits dry up before you peel them off, or you can just leave them on, honestly. I just like to peel it off because it's kind of fun, and I feel like it looks like, I don't know, just a little bit more tidy. Let me know if you guys peel your like caterpillar bits off or not. Okay, he is all secured back onto the pole now, but yeah, I have just been so in love with this plant. I mean, it's been one of my favorite philodendron for a while now, but now that it's just making its comeback, I've been appreciating it so much more. I find it to be quite an easy, besides that one episode of rot that I had, which I know what went wrong and it was my fault. So if you're curious about that, again, I'll link the video down below talking about that with this plant. But besides that, it's been such an easy philodendron. I just have this in regular room humidity right now, and it's super happy. Obviously, it's given me this huge leaf, and my humidity has not been great in here right now because it has been like snowstormy. Even right now, it's just like dumping down snow. So my humidity in here is at 45% right now, which is a little bit lower than what it normally is at. So hopefully my plants will be able to pull through. I've had the heat blasting in here. But yeah, this guy doesn't really seem to mind just being in regular household humidity, so that's always nice. He does get artificial light now though. He's in front of one of my Plant Spectrum 32 grow lights. Okay, next on my list is a Hoya that I actually don't show very often on my channel, and it is my Hoya sigillatis. So here it is. And I've had this Hoya for actually I'm gonna say a few years now. Well, 2 years, maybe. 2 years, I think. And I actually got it as, it was a fresh import that somebody else had imported in and then like sold right after without acclimating them or anything. So I bought the sigillatis, brought it home, and then it promptly, I had it in a Ziploc and everything, but it promptly just turned to mush. Apparently these are known for not shipping well, so I didn't know that at the time. Turned to mush. I ended up being able to save one leaf, and now it's grown into this. So it's always not nice, but it always just gives me an extra appreciation, and it's kind of cool when I feel like a plant has come back from like the brink of death, or I thought I was gonna lose it and then it ended up bouncing back. Yeah, it's really cool. But now I have this full little, I mean, it's not super full, it's only a couple vines, but to me, I'm like, wow, like this plant is pretty big now. And I will say it's a very slow grower. This was living in my IKEA cabinet for so long, and then I took it out just because it was getting pretty long, and now it just lives on my windowsill, and I really was not sure how it would like that spot because it's been quite cold lately. And it's also like hanging right above the heat vent, so I was worried it was like gonna crisp up, but honestly it's been completely fine. Like, it looks really, really good. And this is actually in my DIY pond mix. This is one of the first plants that I experimented with pond, and yeah, it's just, I've always just left it in there. I mean, yeah, you can see some roots, you can see them like on the wicking cord there. But yeah, it's always seemed pretty happy and just been very, very low maintenance. Like, I check on this maybe once a month and just like top up the water, but other than that, it just kind of takes care of itself. I've never had a pest on it or anything, so it's just such a relaxed, easygoing plant, and I was just admiring it, and I was like, hey, I should actually show this plant some love because, yeah, it's done so well for me, and it's so cute. And I also don't see these like super often, so yeah, kind of a fun one. Next is one of my all-time faves, but one that I've just been appreciating a lot lately. I feel like I showed this a lot like towards the end of last year, I guess because I made this pot. It's still in its little Christmas pot, which is pretty cute. But yeah, I repotted this into here at the end of last year, and it's been doing so well, you guys. Like, oh my goodness, I just can't believe how much this begonia is always growing. It literally looks like a little funky tree, and it just makes me so happy. And it's also blooming right now, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see, the blooms have actually started to kind of die off, but there was like a bunch of blooms on the different branches. Maybe you can see some little remnants, but yeah, this is honestly such an easygoing begonia. I feel like a lot of people are turned off by these. They think that they're going to require a lot of care and be really difficult. And believe me, I've had my share of like difficult begonias like that I like have to keep in a Ziploc bag because they need like really high humidity and they can't dry out. This is dry right now. Like, I'm gonna water it after this video, but it's honestly super, super dry. It doesn't seem to mind that too much. Oh my goodness, look, it's shooting out this little baby branch down there. It's so cute. Yeah, it's super tolerant. I also have been getting questions lately about how it's like staked, because you can't really see the trellis in there when you just look at it, but it is actually on an arca trellis. Just the, I think this is like the iridescent one. It's really pretty, and it kind of like matches the whole vibe, which is cool. And then I just have a few vines clipped on there. And then, yeah, that's just kind of holding the whole plant up. You can see I've also added like some little bits of Velcro tape. And yeah, it just kind of stabilizes the plant, and then she just does her thing, honestly. Yeah, very easygoing, very cool plant, and I love that she's just kind of like taking on whatever shape she wants. I should actually trim her soon, especially going into spring. Yeah, I'll probably cut her, and then I might actually up pot her and plant more cuttings in here, and I can just have like a whole little Begonia amphioxus bush slash tree. So yeah, really excited to see what this one looks like by like the end of spring, summer. So yeah, love her so much. Such a fun one to grow. That Begonia amphioxus was actually a wish list plant for me for like years as well, and it's always really nice when you get a wish list plant and it lives up to your expectations and is just everything you were hoping it would be and more. And that is just, yeah, that's how I feel about that plant. I will say it does live in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, but I've heard a lot of people have had success growing them out in regular room humidity, and it gets artificial light from my Plant Spectrum 32 light again. I would say that they do enjoy bright light, so try to prioritize light for it. But yeah, other than that, it has just been a breeze. Okay, the next plant is also a plant that was on my wish list, actually at like the top of my wish list for years, that I finally got last fall, and that is my variegated Thanksgiving cactus. I've been posting this on my Instagram story a lot lately because, as you can see here, we have a bloom, which is so close to opening. Like, look at that. It looks massive too. Like, oh my goodness. And there's also another bloom coming in on that one and also on this one, just a very small one starting, and then this one just has new foliage growth coming in. But yes, oh my goodness, I was not expecting this plant to be going into bloom so quickly, although I'm not really surprised, because I did move it from being under artificial lighting to my windowsill, which caused a temperature drop and a lighting drop, like more darkness, which triggers the blooms. So that's definitely why she is blooming. It looks like it's going to be so pretty too, like a creamy white with some pink. I don't know if the pink is showing up on camera, but it does definitely have like a pinky hue to it. It's just gorgeous. And yeah, I guess I wasn't expecting it to bloom when it's so small still. Like, I haven't had this for very long, so yeah, it's just really cool. And I also recently traded for a couple of more cuttings of variegated Thanksgiving cactus. I am going to pot them all together once the other ones are more like rooted and established, but I will show you those if you haven't seen them yet. So these are the two variegated Thanksgiving cactus cuttings that I got. They are both rooted now, I believe. This one came to me, or didn't come to me. I went and picked it up. I traded with like a local plant friend. This one was already rooted and this one was not, so it was a little floppy and like a little wrinkly, but like right away, as soon as I put it under my Soltec light, this rooted up so quickly. Well, I'm assuming it's rooted up because it's like perked up now and looks a lot better. I can give it a little tug. Yeah, it's rooted. So I'm gonna wait until the roots develop a little more before I add these to my other one, but I was so happy to trade for these because as you can see, the variegation is so high on these. Like, look at that. Are you kidding me? They just look so good. So yeah, I feel like I have, you know, a really good starter pot happening with these three, and I just couldn't be happier about it. I can't believe I looked for this plant for so long and now I have like 3 of them. So yeah, I'm just thrilled about that, and checking on this flower all the time to see if it opens because it's just going to be so gorgeous, and I'm sure you guys will be seeing a lot of photos and videos of it when it does open. Okay, so next on my list is my Hoya Wilbur Graves. I believe that this is the Russian form. I received this as a cutting. I think it was just these 2 lower leaves when I received it in the fall, and I potted it up and everything, and then it shot out this vine, and it recently gave me this leaf like within the past month, and I couldn't believe how pretty this leaf was. Like, look at that. It's literally perfect. This is like, I know that the Wilbur Graves went onto a lot of people's wish lists like a couple years ago, and this is exactly what my dreams are made of. Like, when I was envisioning what I wanted in a Hoya Wilbur Graves, like, it is just perfect. There's so much silver on it, but there's also that beautiful contrast of like the dark green as well. So yeah, I'm just so happy with this plant, and it seems to be growing pretty quickly also. As you can see, we have a small leaf that is just coming in. It's kind of hard to tell what they're going to look like when they're just coming in, but it does look like it's going to have beautiful coloring as well. And then we also have 2 smaller leaves coming up there. So yeah, this guy is doing really well. The roots look really healthy in here, as you can see. And yeah, overall, I've just had a really great experience growing this. You guys know I love silver plants, which is why I wanted this one, of course. I love silvery Hoyas, and this one has just like fully delivered on my expectations once again. sometime this spring I'll probably take a cutting from this and then pot it back in to create a nice little full pot and add a trellis and everything. But yeah, I just love this so much. It's so gorgeous. The coloring is phenomenal and I have just really been enjoying it. Okay, and then lastly we have another beautiful velvet philodendron. This is my Philodendron glorious, which is a which is a hybrid of Philodendron melanochrysum and Philodendron gloriosum. It is so beautiful. I have been appreciating this one so much lately. I used to really favor my Philodendron splendid, and I think I still do prefer that one. It's so hard to pick now that they're both getting big, but this one is just, the more it grows, the more I'm drawn to it and the more gorgeous it gets. I love the dark green foliage. It is so beautiful, and I love the red margin on the leaf. I don't know if you'll be able to see, if that will show up on camera or anything, but it does have a red margin around the edges of the leaf. And I have a feeling that I'm going to have a really great year with this plant because I'm actually air layering right now. So I'm going to be starting some of these larger leaves over again and then just continuing to grow from there, kind of doing like the chop and extend type of method, but with air layering. So I have that happening on a couple of vines, and this is the one I'm most excited about because it has the largest leaves here, and I'm actually also getting a new leaf on that vine and a new leaf on the other vine. This leaf actually doesn't look amazing. I do have problems with the leaves unfurling on this plant, which is one of my criticisms of it in comparison to the splendid. I've never had any problems with the splendid, and it's also not as thirsty. This one is thirstier, and I do have some leaf problems. Like you can see, I have a lot of damaged leaves on here. I think I'll have that problem less the more the plant matures and sizes up, and the more I like keep up with the watering and everything, which I've really made that a priority. I am staying on top of the watering because I want the air layering to be successful, and I just want to have good results with propagating this plant and starting it over again and just having like high quality leaves to do that with. So yeah, another one that I'm really excited about. I don't know if there's any roots in my air layering yet. Oh my goodness, there actually is. There actually is. Oh my goodness, how exciting. Look, you can see a big root in there. How fun. Air layering is so satisfying. I can't really tell in the other one, but yeah, that's gonna be really exciting once I can cut those vines and then pot those up. So yeah, it's definitely been one of my favorites lately. I have been really drawn to it, checking on it a lot, making sure it's watered, taking lots of photos of it, and that's always how I know that I'm just like really appreciating a plant, if I'm like extra on top of it. My feet are falling asleep. Oh yeah, I did also put my Philodendron billietiae right here to be in the background as like an honorable mention, because I've talked about this a lot and it was in last month's favorites, but it still is one of my favorites. I'm obsessed. This is the newest leaf and it came out massive, and oh my goodness, you guys, it is just everything. Like, Philodendron billietiae is so underrated in my opinion. I'm just so thrilled about this leaf. So yeah, can't wait to see how big this plant gets like throughout the growing season as well. Anyways, I just wanted to have that back there so that you guys could kind of see it. But my battery's dying. I'm gonna go. My feet are also asleep. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so freaking much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to chat with you. Also give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!